Welcome, Sophie. Today we're beginning our session on the good parent, navigating end-of-life decisions, and our focus will be on understanding developmental stages and their impact on these crucial choices. It's a vital area because a child's age and cognitive ability profoundly shape how they perceive and participate in such discussions.
Thank you, Elliot. I'm really keen to grasp this better, especially how those developmental differences truly influence a family's approach to end-of-life planning. It feels like such a complex topic.
Indeed, it is. We'll unpack how these stages inform communication strategies and decision-making processes, ensuring we approach these sensitive topics with the appropriate understanding and empathy. Let's begin by examining how a child's developmental stage influences their understanding of illness and death. For infants and toddlers, aged 0 to 2 years, their primary focus is establishing attachment and trust. They possess no cognitive understanding of illness or death itself.
So they don't grasp the concept of death at all. What specifically causes distress for them in the context of severe illness or end-of-life care?
Their distress stems from disruptions to their routine, separation from primary caregivers, and physical discomfort. These are the primary factors impacting their well-being, not a conceptual understanding of their condition.
Given this, how does the care team and family approach end-of-life decisions for an infant or toddler? It seems the focus would be entirely on the parents.
Precisely. Decision-making for infants and toddlers centers entirely on maintaining comfort, routine, and consistent care. The focus is on the parent's ability to provide a stable, loving environment, as the child cannot participate in any conceptual way. Moving to preschoolers aged 3 to 6 years, their thinking is characterized by egocentrism and magical thinking. They often view death as temporary and reversible, similar to sleep or a long trip.
If they see death as temporary, does that mean they might believe the person will return? And how does magical thinking manifest in their understanding of illness?
Yes, they might expect a return. Magical thinking can lead to self-blame, where they believe their actions or thoughts cause the illness or death. They may also think they can reverse it through good behavior or wishes.
That sounds incredibly difficult for parents. How do they communicate about a terminal illness without reinforcing these misconceptions or causing undue guilt?
Parents must provide simple, concrete explanations, emphasizing that the child is not at fault and that death is not a choice or a punishment. Communication focuses on reassurance, maintaining a sense of security, and using clear, direct language about what is happening. Next, we have school-age children from 7 to 12 years. This stage marks a significant shift as they develop cause and effect logic and stronger peer relationships. They begin to understand death as final, irreversible, and universal.
So they grasp the permanence of death, unlike preschoolers. Do they also understand the biological aspects, like why someone dies?
Yes, their developing logic allows them to understand the biological causes of death. They can process more factual information about the illness. However, they may still struggle with abstract or spiritual issues, such as what happens after death.
How does their developing logic affect their involvement in discussions about their own care or end-of-life decisions? Can they contribute meaningfully?
Their developing logic allows for more direct, honest information. They can participate in discussions about their care, understanding consequences, and expressing preferences. However, the ultimate decision-making capacity remains with parents and physicians due to their minor status. Finally, adolescents and young adults, aged 13 and above, possess an adult understanding of death. They may grapple with significant existential issues and often focus intensely on the personal effects of illness and loss.
Given their adult understanding, do adolescents typically prefer to be fully informed about their prognosis, even if it's poor? Is honesty always the best policy here?
Research indicates that adolescents often prefer to be fully informed about their prognosis, as this can actually reduce distress by allowing them to prepare and feel a sense of control. Honesty, delivered with empathy, is generally preferred.
And what role do they play in decision making? Can they make their own choices regarding treatment or end-of-life care?
They can provide informed consent if deemed mature minors, meaning they demonstrate the capability to understand and weigh treatment options. This involves assessing their maturity, cognitive ability, and the complexity of the decision, though parental involvement remains crucial.
So, to summarize, understanding of death progresses from no comprehension in infants to temporary and reversible with magical thinking in preschoolers to final and universal with cause and effect logic in school-age children, and finally to an adult understanding with existential considerations in adolescents. This progression directly impacts how we communicate and involve them in end-of-life decisions.
That is an excellent summary, Sophie. Recognizing these developmental differences is fundamental. It allows us to tailor communication, manage expectations, and ethically involve children and adolescents in discussions about their care, always prioritizing their best interests and supporting their families through these challenging times. To really solidify this for your understanding, I'd suggest creating a quick mental map. Link each developmental stage directly to its primary cognitive characteristic regarding death, like magical thinking for preschoolers or the adult understanding in adolescents. This will help you recall the appropriate communication strategies for each.
That's a great idea, Elliot. I'll definitely use that mental map approach. I want to review the specific communication strategies for each age group, especially how to address the nuances for school-age children and adolescents, as those seem to require the most careful balance.
Perfect. And for our next session, we'll shift our focus to the ethical considerations and legal frameworks that guide end-of-life decisions for minors. We'll delve into concepts like assent, best interest standards, and the role of ethics committees.